Chapter 174, Symbol Puppet. As he gazed at the leaving figures of Wang Pan and the rest, in his heart, Lin Dong slowly sighed in relief. He was not afraid of them. With his current strength, it was not difficult to defeat a perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioner. As for the rest of those guys, although they were somewhat strong, they were at the level of Lin Chen or Lin Feng, practically unable to threaten Lin Dong. Lin Dong slowly landed on the ground, ignoring Lin Chen's and the rest's longing gazes as he casually kept the ancient heavenly scales halberd in his Qian bag. After which, he clasped his hands together at Lin Ker and said, "Many thanks. You were really slow in reaching this place, we even waited a while for you when we first entered." Lin Ker also kept the two soul treasures, which floated in front of her, as she smiled and replied, "I'm accustomed to being alone." Lin Dong chuckled and said, "I truly did not expect that you would actually be so powerful, that you could snatch the soul treasure from Wang Pan. No wonder he seemed like a cat whose tail had been stepped on." Lin Ker did not mind as she sweetly smiled and said, "I was just lucky." Lin Dong laughed as he replied. Soon after, he chose not to linger on this topic for too long. Instead, he gazed towards another exit of the huge hall. That was the entrance to the deeper parts of the old tomb, and also the direction Wang Pan and the rest had headed in. Looks like they were still not ready to give up on finding more treasures in this place. Big brother Lin Langqian and the rest have most likely already reached the center of the old tomb. For them, the soul treasures here are not of much interest. Lin Ker said. Lin Dong lightly nodded his head. Given Lin Longtian's, Wang Yan's, and the rest's status in their respective clans, a mere mid-grade soul treasure was indeed unable to cause them to pause in their step. After all, there might even more precious treasures in the deeper parts of the old tomb. We plan to rest and reorganize here for a while before entering the later areas. What about you? Do you want to come with us? To one side, Old Man Tao chuckled as he asked. Upon hearing these words, Lin Dong took a look at this large hall. Due to the fact that the struggle for the soul treasures had already ended, most people were already rushing towards the deeper part of the old tomb without skipping a beat. Furthermore, the hearts of those who had arrived after the battle for the soul treasures had ended, was filled with regret. Since they did not reap any rewards, they naturally were not willing for things to end this way. Thus, without the slightest hesitation, they charged towards the deeper parts of the tomb. For a time, this area seemed to become just another tunnel to pass through. "I'll enter first to take a look around. If I'm really unable to find anything else, I'll just forget about it." Upon seeing this scene, Lin Dong chuckled. Although he had already obtained quite a harvest this time, he had yet to find the so-called extreme yin dragon saliva. This was one of the goals he had set for himself for this trip to the old tomb this time. If he was unable to find it, Kington's situation would be extremely perilous. Therefore, he could not withdraw at this time. As for once again grouping up with Lin Ker and the rest, Lin Dong was somewhat reluctant in his heart. Perhaps, he may still be able to trust Old Man Tao and Lin Ker, but, with regards to Lin Chen and the rest, and especially Lin Feng, Lin Dong could not possibly travel with them. In fact, just a while back, Lin Feng had purposely said those words in hopes of making Wang Pan attack Lin Dong. With these thoughts in mind, Lin Dong calmly looked at Lin Feng, who was behind Old Man Tao, as a cold murderous intent surfaced in the depths of his eyes. Lin Feng also seemed to be aware of this, as his face turned a little rigid, and his body shrunk to hide behind Old Man Tao. Lin Ker was also rather clever. When she saw Lin Dong's expression, she knew that the latter hated Lin Feng and the rest quite a bit. Thus, she could only softly sigh as she said, "Since you are determined to do so, go ahead. Also, be extra careful." Lin Dong slightly smiled as he nodded his head. He clasped his hands together at Old Man Tao and Lin Ker, before whistling out. Nearby, Little Flame quickly flashed to his side, as he leapt onto the tiger's back. Together, they transformed into a gale as they directly rushed towards the passageway leading to the deeper part of the old tomb. "This kid is becoming more and more arrogant," as he gazed at Lin Dong's leaving figure, Lin Feng could not help but sneer in a low voice. "Shut up!" As his words sounded out, Lin Ker suddenly turned her head and sternly said, given Lin Dong's strength, he would definitely achieve great things at the clan gathering 2 years later. At that time, his prospects would be limitless. You will truly be asking for it if you provoke him again. After being berated by Lin Ker, Lin Feng's expression alternated between green and white. However, due to Lin Ker's identity and power, he did not dare to rebut and could only resentfully shut his mouth. Lin Dong knew nothing of Lin Ker scolding Lin Feng and the rest. After he entered that passageway, the scene before him widened once again as an extremely spacious area appeared before his eyes. This huge area was filled with numerous gigantic wooden poles, and these poles seemed to soar towards the heavens as they stood closely together, creating numerous paths lined with wooden poles which curved and meandered. No one knew where these paths led to. Lin Dong was also taken aback by this change in scenery. As he took 2 steps forward, he suddenly discovered that there were some black limb-like objects on the ground. He picked one up and inspected it. It seemed to be a human's broken limb. However, this broken limb was entirely black and was exceedingly heavy. Evidently, it was cast from high-quality metal, and on the surface of the broken limb, there seemed to be some mysterious symbols. This is a symbol puppet. Some practitioners like to create them for entertainment. They can be used to guard the house and are not bad at all. While Lin Dong staring in a daze at this thing, the small Martin's voice sounded out in his mind. Symbol puppet, Lin Dong mumbled to himself. Simply put, there are 3 tiers of symbol puppets, upper, middle and lower. However, the broken limb from a symbol puppet in your hand is likely not even from a lower tier one, and can only be called a defective product. Furthermore, it is said that there's some even higher grade symbol puppets above the upper tier ones, but I do not know much about them. Outside the Great Yan Empire, there are some special great sects that specialize in controlling such symbol puppets. These are the ones that are terrifying. I once saw a Nirvana stage practitioner being ripped apart by 2 of these symbol puppets. Ripping a Nirvana stage practitioner apart. Upon hearing these words, Lin Dong's brain seemed to overload. What kind of symbol puppet was so terrifying? To think that it could kill even a Nirvana stage practitioner. Lin Dong mulled about this for a time, but was still unable to imagine how terrifying such a symbol puppet was. He could only let out a bitter laugh as he shook his head. The world outside the Great Yan Empire was indeed strange and wondrous. If you want to look for elixirs, take the left path. There seems to be some elixir undulations there. The small Martin was clearly not very interested in these symbol puppets, thus, it pointed at a path after explaining. Okay. Lin Dong nodded his head, before patting Little Flame as the latter dashed forward like a ghost. Swiftly sweeping into peculiar wooden pole formation, Lin Dong found quite a few broken symbol puppet limbs along the way. Furthermore, there were also traces of a fight, indicating that someone had done battle with the symbol puppets in this area. As he traveled, Lin Dong also encountered some symbol puppets. However, when he saw these exasperatingly slow and rigid guys, he finally understood why there were broken limbs all over the area. This kind of symbol puppets was really too shabby. Besides their huge strength, they seemed to be reduced to target practice. After casually destroying a few symbol puppets, Lin Dong lost interest as he lightly patted Little Flame as their speed once again increased. However, while Little Flame ran at full speed, they followed the wooden pathways for over a dozen minutes, yet, there seemed to be no exit to the path before their eyes. Something seems amiss. This situation once again lasted for another few minutes before Lin Dong finally allowed Little Flame to top. His expression was serious and he felt that they seemed to be going in circles. Moreover, while they traveled, they did not encounter anyone else. If it were not for the traces of a fight that remained, Lin Dong would believe that he was the only person here. This seems to be some kind of formation. The little sable also sensed that something was wrong. It appeared on Lin Dong's shoulder as its eyes swept across the surroundings, before it helplessly said, "Truly troublesome, I detest these annoying formations the most. What should we do now?" Lin Dong scratched his head. They could not possibly continue this way, right? Sooner or later, they would end up dead from fatigue. Let me probe about for a while. Although I am not very adept at formations, the wooden pole formation should not be too profound. The small marten spread out its claws before it closed its eyes. Next, an extremely tiny insulation spread outwards. Walk 300 steps forward. This probe lasted for a moment before the little marten once again opened its eyes as its claws pointed forward. Upon hearing this, Lin Dong was skeptical as he walked 300 steps forward. After finding that there was still no exit before him, he spread his arms out and asked, "What now?" "Don't look forward, use your hand to push the 8th wooden pole to your left." The small marten replied. "Oh!" Lin Dong was stunned for a while. Soon after, a flash of realization hit him. It turned out that the true road was not to his front, but at the sides. The path before him was nothing more than a distraction. When he recalled that he had actually followed the path for such a long time, Lin Dong could not help but roll his eyes. His palm pushed towards the 8th wooden pole. Rumble! As Lin Dong's palm pushed, the wall of wooden poles before him suddenly moved, and a path appeared in front of him. Such an ingenious mechanism! Lin Dong secretly praised it as he strolled forward. Many wooden poles still formed the walls here, however. After his previous experience, Lin Dong no longer panicked. After once again pushing open several pathways, a spacious drilling field appeared before his eyes. Upon seeing that they had finally left the wooden pole formation, Lin Dong sighed in relief. He walked forward and slightly paused. He had found that quite a number of symbol puppets were neatly lined up in this drilling field. From the looks of it, their numbers exceeded the hundreds. For this kind of useless symbol puppets, no matter how many there are, they will only be decorations. Lin Dong took one look at them before he shook his head. However, just as he smiled and was about to enter the drilling field, the small marten's voice suddenly rang out. "Foolish brat, these symbol puppets are all lower-tier symbol puppets. Their individual battle power does not lose to a perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioner." Lin Dong's body immediately froze, before his scalp suddenly turned numb. A perfect Yuan Dan stage symbol puppet? And there were even over 100 of them? Oh my god, what the heck is this? Lin Dong's scalp was numb as he slowly withdrew his foot and stared at the quiet drilling field. Chapter 175, Middle-Ranked Symbol Puppet. Over 100 symbol puppets with strengths comparable to the perfect Yuan Dan stage. What kind of concept was this? If all of them were to rush over, even a form creation stage practitioner would be forced to temporarily flee, right? Thus, when Lin Dong heard the little marten's words, he immediately showed signs of trying to escape. Although he was confident in himself, he was not blindly arrogant. With his current strength, it might be difficult for him to defeat a perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioner, but, to defeat over 100, that would only happen in his dreams. What are you afraid of? Though these symbol puppets have a strength comparable to the perfect Yuan Dan stage, they are all broken products. While Lin Dong was being anxious, the small marten could not help but chuckle at his antics. Broken products? Lin Dong was taken aback, only then did he take a closer look at these symbol puppets. Sure enough, he found that there was not even the slightest bit of energy undulations in their bodies. They did not move at all and seemed like metal pillars. The symbol inscriptions inside these symbol puppets have already faded, they are basically useless. Though they look terrifying, they are actually just a bunch of metal eyesores. Let's go. Upon hearing this, Lin Dong quietly sighed in relief, as he slowly walked into the drilling field that was filled with symbol puppets. However, even though the marten had said so, he was still extremely cautious. His palm gripped onto the ancient heavenly scales halberd, which once again appeared in his hands, as it flickered with a dark red light. Once the ancient halberd was in his hands, Lin Dong's heart felt a little more at ease. There was no other noise in this quiet field, only Lin Dong's soft footsteps sounded out, while he walked through the numerous symbol puppets. As he gazed at the ice-cold metal lumps around him, he felt a little dread in his heart. If these metal lumps suddenly came to life, it would truly be a tragedy for him. Fortunately, the most tragic scenario did not occur. Although the little Martin loved to discourage him, its words still held some credibility. The ferocious-looking symbol puppet army did not move in the end, and Lin Dong also successfully passed through. Only when he arrived at the other end of the training field did finally let out a soft sigh of relief. He lifted his head and looked forward, as a potent medicine smell drifted towards him. What appeared before Lin Dong was a lake with water so clear that you could see the bottom. At the center of the lake, was a tiny pond that was built using jade. Quite a few elixirs were growing within the tiny pond, and from the looks of it, they were not low-quality products. Upon seeing this scene, delight surfaced in Lin Dong's eyes. He swept forward to the edge of the pond while his eyes scanned the area, before concentrating on a black elixir inside the medicine pond. That elixir looked very much like a curled-up tiny snake, and gave out an extremely potent yin energy, resulting in a layer of cold qi covering the surrounding water. A rather peculiar sight. Extreme yin dragon saliva. As he stared at this black elixir, excitement finally rose up in Lin Dong's heart. He had searched high and low for it and had at last finally found it. A sliver of Lin Dong's mental energy reached out and gently cut off that extreme yin dragon saliva. After which, it was very carefully placed into a jade box that had been prepared in advance. After obtaining the extreme yin dragon saliva, Lin Dong felt like a burden was lifted off his shoulders. Only now did he have the mood to inspect the other elixirs. The grades of the elixirs within this medicine pond were not low. Lin Dong had spent a tremendous amount of effort before he was barely able to obtain a grade 6 elixir in Yan City, yet, there were at least 10 of such elixirs here. Furthermore, there seemed to be some lingering traces of an extremely potent energy at the center of the medicine pond. However, after discovering the stem which had been cut, it was clear that it had already been taken away by someone. Upon seeing that the best elixir had already been taken, Lin Dong could only helplessly shake his head. This was likely done by Lin Langqian and the rest. An elixir that could cause them to stop and collect it was definitely no ordinary item. Fortunately, the extreme yin dragon saliva was not taken too. Grade 6 elixirs are also not bad. Lin Dong consoled himself in his heart before taking action, collecting every single elixir inside the pond no matter what grade they were at. Thus, a short few minutes later, the originally lush medicine pond had become rather empty. Only the faintly green pond water seemed to emit a faint medicine fragrance. One could not blame Lin Dong for being greedy. After all, he did not have the vast resources that Lin Langqian, Wang Yan, and the others had. He completely depended on himself to obtain his strength, and though the rest would not give a second look to these elixirs, for Lin Dong, they were still rather precious. Phew! After collecting the last elixir, Lin Dong let out a long sigh. He lifted his head and looked at the stone door which had already been shattered. He could sense that perhaps Lin Langqian and the rest were already not that far ahead. This place was after all considered as the inner part of the old tomb. I really want to find out exactly what kind of treasures are inside. Lin Dong's gaze slightly flickered, but he did not immediately leave. Perhaps he may be unable to contest over the treasures with experts like Lin Langqian and the rest, but he truly wanted to know what they managed to obtain. Wait a moment. However, just as Lin Dong was planning to progress onwards, the little Martin suddenly appeared in a flash. Its gaze was not pointed towards the front, but instead staring at the now empty medicine pond. What is it? Lin Dong was also taken aback by its actions. He looked at the green medicine pond, but did not discover anything, hence, he was puzzled as he asked. There seems to be something underneath this medicine pond. The little Martin looked at the medicine pond as its claws suddenly waved. The pond water started to swirl, as if streams of water were being sucked out. As the pond water in the medicine pond was being sucked out, the bottom of the pond was revealed, and Lin Dong found that there was actually a copper head within the ooze at the bottom of the pond. It was a symbol puppet. Another symbol puppet. Upon seeing this, Lin Dong shook his head in disappointment. Ha, brat! This symbol puppet is no ordinary one. I think that it should be a middle-ranked symbol puppet, and its battle power is comparable to that of a form creation stage practitioner. The small Marten said. Middle-ranked symbol puppet. Lin Dong was stunned. Soon after, he once again shook his head. Whether it's middle-ranked or lower-ranked, it is still scrap metal. You're wrong, this symbol puppet is not scrap metal, it can still be used. The small Marten let out a strange laughter. Stop being so flustered, most of the symbol inscriptions in this symbol puppet are complete, it only lacks the energy to move. Then, can I take it away? Lin Dong's gaze flashed as he asked. The little Marten's claws waved, as the symbol puppet flew out from the mid. After dipping it into the lake water to clean it for a while, it was placed in front of Lin Dong. This symbol puppet was about 2 meters tall and it held a bronze lance in its hand, making it look exceedingly tall and sturdy. Its entire body was faintly green, as if it was built with a special material. There were also lines of extremely complicated patterns on its body, however, the markings near its eyes were black and did not glow. Just from its appearance alone, this symbol puppet looked several times stronger than the ones Lin Dong had seen earlier. The small Marten's claws touched the forehead of the symbol puppet, as a vortex quickly surfaced there. The inside of the vortex was empty and did not contain anything at all. The brand has already faded, and it can still be used. Use your mental energy to inscribe a brand here. The small Marten instructed. Upon hearing this, Lin Dong was delighted. A trace of mental energy was swiftly cast into that vortex, as he started to inscribe a brand there. And as the brand was successfully inscribed, a faint imprint appeared on that bronze symbol puppet's forehead. Good, now this symbol puppet belongs to you. Lin Dong's eyes were filled with joy. Was it so simple to obtain a symbol puppet with power comparable to form creation stage practitioner? While he celebrated, Lin Dong also sent out some commands in his mind, however, the symbol puppet before him did not move. What is going on? Upon seeing this scene, Lin Dong could not help but cry out in astonishment. Didn't I say it before, this symbol puppet does not have the energy to move. The small Marten rolled its eyes and said. Lin Dong blinked, and suddenly sensed that something was amiss. Immediately, he very carefully asked, how can I give it energy? Also, if I wanted to fight with a form creation stage practitioner, how much energy would it need? With regards to energy, you can directly inject pure UN pills into the symbol puppet's body. As for the amount needed to utilize an attack comparable to a form creation stage practitioner, you should need about 2000 pure UN pills. Remember, this is only the amount needed to release one attack. After the attack is released, if you want to continue, you need to use purer UN pills. The small Marten spread out its claws and answered. 2000 pure UN pills for a single attack. God damn it, why don't we go rob a bank? The connection was finally made in his mind. Lin Dong's face was flushed red as he howled in exasperation. 2000 pure UN pills for one attack, god damn it, wouldn't this mean that he could only make this symbol puppet let loose 10 attacks after using everything he had? This useless thing, who could afford such an expenditure? Kid, do you think a strike from a form creation stage practitioner is weak? Others people would painstakingly train for dozens or even over 100 years to reach this level, and now, you only need to use 2000 pure UN pills to launch an attack that is equally strong, and you're still not content. The small Marten sneered, however, no matter how one listened to it, its voice sounded as if it was delighted at this misfortune that had befallen Lin Dong. Lin Dong was speechless, as he gazed in extreme grief at the tall and sturdy symbol puppet which stood before him. Originally, he was under the impression that it would be a great assistant, only now did he realize that it was actually a money-burning object. If a rich person obtained this symbol puppet, he would likely be crazy with delight. But, to Lin Dong, who did not have a huge capital, if it was not for the 20,000 pure UN pills he had obtained in the old tomb this time, he would perhaps be unable to take out the pure UN pills needed to unleash a single attack. This thing was practically useless for someone who did not have the capital. Chapter 176, Sea of Fire. Stop bawling, though the cost of activating this thing is not small, no one asked you to use it all the time. At a critical moment, it could possibly save your life. Upon seeing Lin Dong's depressed appearance, the small marten could not help but roll its eyes and say, "Other people would be so excited if they obtain this kind of middle-ranked symbol puppet, it's only 2,000 pure yuan pills after all." After hearing the little marten's words, Lin Dong immediately rolled his eyes. He was no important figure and did not have the support of a great clan. Behind him, there was only an unremarkable and tiny Lin family. Fine, I'll just take it as picking up a lousy piece of life insurance." Lin Dong softly sighed. Like the little marten said, even if the cost to activate this symbol puppet was not small, there are times when it would perhaps be able to achieve a life-changing effect. When comparing 2,000 pure yuan pills to his life, the latter was more precious. With these thoughts, Lin Dong also raised his hand and kept the symbol puppet into his Qian Kun bag. After which, he turned his head to gaze at the broken door nearby. Deeply exhaling a breath of air, he did not hesitate as he beckoned with his hand, taking the lead to slowly walk over, while Little Flame and the small marten also swiftly followed. After walking through the broken door, what entered his eyes was a huge mess. The remains of many broken symbol puppet limbs covered the floor, while some markings on the ground indicated that an intense battle had occurred here. These were probably left behind by Lin Langqian and the rest. Lin Dong slowly walked within this messy passage. Although he did not encounter any treasures, he also did not meet any obstruction. Looks like Lin Langqian and the rest had thoroughly cleaned this place, and anything that would obstruct them had been destroyed by force. In this quietness, Lin Dong walked for about 10 minutes as he passed through several spacious and huge HLLs. Towards the end, the traces of battle in these places became increasingly intense. One could tell that the symbol puppets later on were getting stronger and stronger. Combined with their numbers, even Lin Langqian would have to make a little effort. Pa! When Lin Dong's steps once again passed through another empty yet extremely messy huge hall, his gaze suddenly paused on curtain of light to his front. This seems to be the end of the passage, with only the curtain of light emitting a faint glow. Lin Dong very carefully walked near that curtain of light before his eyes concentrated on a shattered symbol puppet in front of him. The color of this symbol puppet was exactly the same as the one he had obtained from the medicine pool, and it also looked to be a middle-ranked symbol puppet. From the exceedingly fierce scars of battle, it was evident that this symbol puppet had once fought with Lin Langqian and the rest. However, in the end, it was still unable to stop them and had been forcefully destroyed. Even a middle-ranked symbol puppet that has a power comparable to a form creation stage practitioner is unable to stop them. Lin Dong lowered his head and touched the broken symbol puppet, as a serious look flitted across his eyes. These guys were undoubtedly the finest younger generation members of the Great Yan Empire. Such strength truly caused one to gasp in admiration. The symbol inscriptions that the Nirvana stage practitioner had left on this symbol puppet had yet to fade completely, thus, he still possessed the ability to fight. And it is also because of this that they were unable to take it for their own use. Among the younger generation members of the Great Yan Empire, these four are still considered not bad, however, compared to that Nirvana stage practitioner, they still have a long way to go. Even after so many years, the symbol inscription was still not something they could erase. The small marten sat on Lin Dong's shoulders as it remarked. Lin Dong lightly nodded his head. Truth be told, he was really fortunate to have picked up an ownerless middle-ranked symbol puppet. If you enter from here, you should reach the core part of the old tomb. Do you plan on entering? It would likely be several times more dangerous inside than before. The small marten looked at the curtain of light at their front as it spoke. Lin Dong nodded his head and smiled. Since we've already reached this place, would we still turn back? As his words were spoken, Lin Dong did not hesitate as he stepped forward and entered the screen of light. The screen of light undulated and his figure disappeared. After seeing this, the small marten and little flame also followed as they dashed into the screen of light. After entering the screen of light, darkness appeared before Lin Dong's eyes for a moment, and in the next instance, a scarlet-red light flooded his eyes. An extremely red-hot wave of fire attacked him and forced him to hastily utilize Yuan power to protect his body. After protecting his body, Lin Dong finally had the time to size up his surroundings. Immediately, astonishment colored his eyes, because what appeared before him was actually a scarlet-red sea of fire, which was where the wave of heat from before had originated from. These flames should be illusionary, right? Lin Dong furrowed his eyebrows as he inquired. Whether it's real or fake, who can be sure? This should be a great formation, and it seems to be rather well made. The small marten looked for a while before its claws pointed towards the center of the flaming sea. Oh, those few guys also seem to be stuck. Upon hearing these words, Lin Dong's gaze hastily shifted to look. Sure enough, he saw a few figures resisting the waves of fire within the flaming sea. Those figures turned out to be Lin Langqian and the rest. Such a strong great formation, to think that it could trap even Lin Langqian and the rest. Lin Dong softly gaped before he spoke again, then, this great formation, I'm afraid we will also be unable to pass. That may not be certain, every formation has its own method of passing through. The small marten objected as its claws pointed towards the sea of fire to their front. Do you see that the sea of fire is split into several paths of fire? Lin Dong's eyes also turned in that direction, only then did he see that the sea of fire had actually been split into countless paths of fire. Is this the method to cross? However, there are so many paths, which one is the true path? Lin Dong asked in astonishment. Haha, these paths are all fake. Lin Langqian and the rest have been unable to uncover this fact. They tried to follow these paths and instead ended up trapped in the formation. The small marten let out a strange laughter as it said. All fake? Then where is the real one? Lin Dong was once again taken aback. The road before us is the true path. The small marten's claws once again pointed forward. This time, it did not point towards any of the paths, but directly pointed at the burning sea of fire. The most impossible place is usually the most likely one. As it gazed at Lin Dong's shocked expression, the small marten laughed before it appeared in a flash on Lin Dong's shoulder, and lazily said, "Let's go, brat, be a little courageous." As he gazed at the raging sea of fire, Lin Dong let out a bitter laugh. You needed more than a little courage to charge into a sea of fire. I'll try. After pausing on the spot for a while, Lin Dong finally gritted his teeth. Since he had already reached this place, he could not possibly retreat. Although Lin Langqian and the rest were trapped, he at least still had this extremely experienced little marten as his marten advisor. Since he had made his decision, Lin Dong no longer hesitated. A vigorous Yuan power gushed forth and wrapped around his body. At the same time, the mental energy in his Nuan palace also began to stir, preparing to deal with any sudden situation that might occur at any time. Thoroughly prepared, Lin Dong's foot slowly stepped forward. As he was on the verge of stepping into the sea of flames, he once again firmly gritted his teeth as he stepped in. As he walked into the sea of fire, the burning pain he anticipated did not come. Only then did Lin Dong's tensed heart finally relax, as he wiped off a layer of sweat from his forehead. Just continue forward. The small marten ridiculed Lin Dong for a while as always, before it waved its claws and said. Lin Dong nodded his head. After calling for Little Flame, he continued to walk forward into the deeper parts of the flaming sea. The surrounding flames no longer caused Lin Dong to feel unwell. He tried to grab at the flames but instead seemed to have grabbed onto nothingness and he did not feel anything at all. This is truly bizarre. Lin Dong secretly praised in his heart, as he quickened his pace. As he reached the deeper parts, he was gradually able to see Lin Langqian and the rest, who were giving their all to resist the columns of flame which shot out from the sea of fire. For a time, they seemed to be rather flustered. These unlucky fellows had taken the wrong path and had instead ended up in the Great Formation's attack range. In this sea of fire, Lin Dong was able to see Lin Langqian and the rest. However, it seems like they were unable to see the former, and it was also because of this, that Lin Dong was finally able to inspect them without fear. As Lin Dong's gaze swept across the sea of fire above him, he suddenly let out a cry of alarm. This was because he had discovered that the mysterious woman who stood atop the green lotus was unexpectedly not here. Could she also have successfully passed through this great formation? Lin Dong's expression fluctuated. He was only able to effortlessly unravel this great formation under the small Martin's guidance, yet, if that woman had overcome it with her own strength, wouldn't that be a little overwhelming? After all, even people as strong as Lin Langqian and the rest were all stuck here. As Lin Dong's expression was in flux, an illusionary huge bronze door suddenly appeared in the sea of fire to his front. Staring at the seemingly illusory appearance of that huge copper door, Lin Dong's heart slightly sunk. He did not expect that there was indeed someone who had entered already. If he was not wrong, it should be the mysterious woman who stood atop the green lotus. Since I'm already here, no matter what, I'll go in and take a look. Before the huge copper door, Lin Dong hesitated for a moment. In the end, he was not resigned to leave. His figure flashed as he made his way into that illusionary door. As Lin Dong passed through the huge copper door, the scarlet red also completely dissipated. A peaceful stone hall appeared before his eyes. There were not overly extravagant decorations in this stone hall, and it instead looked rather simple and empty. Lin Dong's gaze swept one round around the stone hall before concentrating at its center. A stone coffin without a lid stood there, and atop the stone coffin was a ball of light that emitted a vigorous life force. Lin Dong slightly narrowed his eyes, as he concentrated on that ball of light. Faintly, he could see a dark green heart that seemed to be made of bright energy, which was gently beating. As the dark green heart throbbed, the Yuan power in the huge hall also seemed to shake. Nirvana heart. The small Martin's somewhat astonished voice slowly rang out in Lin Dong's mind. Is that the legendary Nirvana heart? Lin Dong's gaze concentrated on that ball of light, his eyes were slightly glazed as he slowly stepped forward. However, just as Lin Dong's foot stepped forward, an indifferent voice that was infused with soul energy suddenly rang out in the quiet stone hall. This is not a place you can come to, please withdraw. Lin Dong's foot froze. Soon after, he slowly lifted his head, his pupils slightly shrinking as he gazed up in the air. There, a green lotus floated, while a calm as a lotus seed and beautiful figure was currently gazing at him with a pair of clear eyes, which did not have even the slightest ripples on its surface. Chapter 177, Nirvana Heart. From a short distance away, Lin Dong gazed at the mysterious woman, whose bare lily-white feet stepped on the green lotus. He had finally come to realize her breathtaking beauty. Her clear eyes were like a calm and quiet pool, while her light-colored dress lined itself neatly against her almost perfect figure. This kind of woman was akin to a goddess who had fallen from the heavens into this mundane world. She possessed a stunning beauty, the kind of beauty that would shock one's heart and move one's soul, so beautiful that it was unreal, but, at the same time, it also caused one to feel a sense of being unattainable. One that should be viewed from afar and never to be touched, like the green lotus below her feet. As Lin Dong's gaze swept over this mysterious woman, the awe in his eyes lasted for quite a while before it finally faded. Little Martin, if we join hands, can we beat her? Difficult. This woman looks rather young, but her strength is especially terrifying. It likely does not lose out in the slightest to Lin Langqian. Even if we join hands, we would more likely lose than win. The small Martin's solemn voice quietly sounded out in Lin Dong's mind. If it was at full power, it would naturally not care at all, but now, it did not have the capability to possess such an attitude. Upon hearing these words, Lin Dong let out a bitter laugh. His eyes turned as he suddenly clasped his hands together at the mysterious woman and said, I am known as Lin Dong, and I do not have the intention of contesting over the treasure with you. I only came in by mistake in hopes of finding out what the Nirvana practitioner had left behind. May I inquire as to what is this young lady's name? Even Lin Langqian and the rest had taken a wrong step and fell into the trap of the great formation. To have come here, you do indeed have some skill. The veil on the mysterious woman's face lightly trembled, her melodious voice was like precious stones tumbling down, and her tone seemed to have a little indescribable flavor. Evidently, she did not believe that Lin Dong's words of entering by mistake. Not only did she have exceptional looks, she was also clearly highly intelligent. I am called Ling Qingzu. Since young master Lin Dong does not wish to contend, then Qingzu will first thank him. Forcefully chasing away someone is not something Qingzu is willing to do. Thus, I hope young master Lin Dong will not mind. In the air, Ling Qingzu bowed towards Lin Dong, however, though her words were especially polite, Lin Dong was able to hear the faint threat behind them. In response, Lin Dong could only spread out his hands. This woman was too terrifying, and he could not defeat her, hence, he could only play it out as a weakling and act according to the circumstances. Furthermore, Lin Dong also understood that he should not trust her words. He was certain that if he truly dared to try anything funny, this woman would not be the slightest bit merciful when she struck. In Yan City, Zia was only cold on the surface, while she was considered pretty nice on the inside. Yet, this absolute beauty before his eyes was different. Although she looked polite and even sounded gentle, her heart was likely akin to black ice. This woman was too formidable. So formidable that even the little Martin was rather afraid of her, though this was also due to the current strength it possessed. Upon seeing Lin Dong's actions, Ling Qingzu withdrew her gaze. She had determined Lin Dong's strength. Even though she was still a little doubtful on how the latter had managed to enter this place, in the end, she did not care too much about him. She had seen way too many young geniuses before, and hence, she also had the confidence that even if Lin Dong stayed here, with her strength, she would be able to easily subdue him if he made any movements. Therefore, the fact that she did not forcibly chase out Lin Dong was actually sort of looking down on him from a certain point of view. This was because she believed that no matter what Lin Dong intended to do, it could not possibly affect her at all. Ling Qingzu's eyes shifted away from Lin Dong, as she looked towards the ball of light atop the stone coffin. She had likewise seen the nirvana heart hidden within it, however, even in the face of such a treasure, only a few tiny ripples surfaced in her limpid eyes. On her face, no delight was displayed. This kind of control was truly out of the ordinary. I did not expect that I would truly find a nirvana heart here. Ling Qingzu's melodious voice held a slight trace of surprise. Soon after, her lily-white hand gently raised, as a green light shot out from the tip of her finger, and transformed into a hand that directly grabbed tightly onto the ball of light. Buzz buzz! In response to Ling Qingzu's grab, the ball of light also quickly started to tremble as it emitted an extremely powerful resistive force. Break! Upon seeing how intense the resistance of the ball of light was, Ling Qingzu once again pointed out in the air, as a petal dropped off from the green lotus below her feet, and transformed into a thread of faintly green light that heavily slammed into the ball of light. Buzz buzz! As the green light attacked, the ball of light immediately shuddered violently, as cracks quietly surfaced one by one. From the looks of it, it was clearly unable to withstand Ling Qingzu's attack. This shuddering did not last for long and the ball of light exploded with a bang sound. As the ball of light exploded, the jade heart within, which was formed by the essence of a nirvana practitioner's entire life's cultivation, was also revealed in the air. Hwa hwa! As this nirvana heart was revealed, it was as if a tide of UN power suddenly rose up in the stone hall, and the crisp sounds of water flowing actually sounded out. Lin Dong lifted his head as he fervently stared at the glowing dark green energy heart. This was the most valuable and precious treasure in the old tomb. However, the longing in his heart weakened substantially when he saw the beauty atop the green lotus. Lin Dong's eyebrows tightly furrowed, although he truly did not want to admit it, he understood that if he made a move, the chances of success was not high. Moreover, he did not believe that this woman, who was so respectfully treated by even Lin Langqian and the rest, would truly so simply be at ease while he stayed here. Thus, towards his each and every move, the latter would surely be on guard. In the air, Ling Qingzu stared at the dark green nirvana heart which floated before her eyes. Her lily-white hand light grasped, as several green lights shot out from the green lotus below her feet, and shined on the nirvana heart. Ch. As the green lights shined on it, waves of white mist suddenly rose up from the nirvana heart. Meanwhile, signs of melting appeared on its surface. Swish swish. Lin Qingzu did not find this scene unexpected, her empty hand gently raised, as more and more green lights swept out from the green lotus, before finally focusing above the Nirvana heart. As an increasing number of green lights gathered, the speed at which the Nirvana heart melted also rapidly increased. A few minutes later, the Nirvana heart had actually been completely transformed into a ball of emerald green liquid. This liquid slowly flowed in the air, faintly emitting an extremely frightening undulation. At the same time, it also exuded an exceedingly strong pressure. Under this pressure, Lin Dong's body seemed to be several times heavier, such that even the yuan power circulating in Lin Dong's body also became sluggish. Immediately, his expression turned extremely solemn. This kind of pressure, which caused Lin Dong to feel as if he was carrying a mountain, did not seem to hinder Lin Qingzu at all. Her clear eyes concentrated on the ball of emerald green liquid. Soon after, she stretched out a white jade-like hand, and gracefully and gently lifted up a corner of her veil. Slightly opening her mouth, the emerald green ball of liquid in midair whizzed into her rosy red mouth. Creak! Lin Dong did not have the time to admire the glimpse of Lin Qingzu gracefully lifting a corner of her veil. When he saw that this woman had actually swallowed the Nirvana heart in one go without the slightest hesitation, his fist involuntarily tightly clenched, and his gaze continuously flickered as he assessed the pros and cons of making a move now, and his chances of success and failure. This flickering gaze only lasted for mere moments before it finally became calm again. Lin Dong's expression was a little ugly, and his eyes were filled with unwillingness. After weighing his options, he still rationally chose to not to make a move. Perhaps, it was due to his mental energy, he kept sensing that the woman in midair was observing his every move. Forget it, though this Nirvana heart is valuable, it is not worth for me to lose my life over it. Lin Dong's helplessly consoled himself in his heart. Although he was still a little dispirited, he did not have an alternative. The situation was not favorable, and there were no benefits if he chose to fight. While Lin Dong made the decision to give up, Lin Qingzu, who had already gulped down the liquid formed from the Nirvana heart, suddenly turned around. Her eyes gazed at the former, and soon after, an indifferent laughter sounded out. Young Master Lin Dong is indeed one who keeps his promises. Next, I will be refining the energy of the Nirvana heart. I do hope that the young master will not disturb me. Upon hearing these words, Lin Dong let out a hollow laugh, however, he still nodded his head in the end. Lin Qingzu also did not care how fake or real Lin Dong's smile expression was. She gracefully sat down on the green lotus as her beautiful eyes slowly closed. Soon after, the green lotus emitted a layer of green light, which wrapped around her entire body. Ai, truly such horrible luck! Upon seeing this, Lin Dong could not help but curse in a low voice. He had painstakingly reached this final area, but in the end, he did not manage to obtain anything at all. Compared to his huge hauls previously, it was practically two extremes. Cursing was after all just cursing, Lin Dong could do nothing about it. Lin Qingzu's green lotus was obviously an extremely powerful treasure, plus, the latter was still very clearly being on guard against him. Thus, after cursing out, Lin Dong's gaze could only sweep across the stone hall. When he saw the stone coffin, he hesitated for a moment before slowly walking over. Since he was already here, he might as well see if there were any other treasures. When he reached the stone coffin, he saw a skeleton peacefully lying within, which should be the Nirvana stage practitioner. He looked about for a while, and found that besides this skeleton, there was nothing else, to which he immediately sighed in disappointment. Elder, I have taken quite a few of your things. This young one will just have to pay my respects. As he cast a glance at the skeleton, Lin Dong helplessly said. After which, he bowed towards the skeleton. Oh! However, just as Lin Dong was about to raise his body, his eyes suddenly discovered that there seemed to be some small words on one side of the coffin walls. Immediately, he hastily concentrated on it. During my life, I've advanced to the Nirvana stage through the power of Yin and Yang. What I've left behind requires Yin and Yang to understand. And if yin and yang do not come together, one would definitely be destroyed. This short sentence caused Lin Dong to be taken aback. He mulled over it for quite some time with his eyebrows furrowed, only then did he suddenly understand the meaning behind these words. Immediately, he looked towards the Ling Qingzu in mid-air, as his face instantly turned extremely interesting and strange. Chapter 178, Forcefully Seizing Yang Energy. This so-called yin and yang energy naturally did not refer to the yin and yang energy from heaven and earth, but rather the male yang and the female yin. Put nicely, it would be called yin and yang energy, while bluntly put, it would be called twin training energy. A more pleasant name for the people who utilized this method would be joyful grandmasters, while an uglier term would be corrupt practitioners, and an uglier term would be pervert. Hence, when Lin Dong discovered that the owner of this old tomb had actually relied on this method to advance to the nirvana stage, his face turned immensely exciting. Then, he turned to look at Ling Qingzu, who was sitting in midair on her green lotus. From these small carvings, Lin Dong knew that this old tomb's owner had done it on purpose. After all, who would bother to find these insignificant scribblings on the corner of the coffin? Furthermore, if most people did not understand the mystery hidden within these words and started refining the nirvana heart, then the final outcome would be as written on that coffin's wall, they would be destroyed. Even in death, the owner of this old tomb wanted to torment others. This truly made one speechless. Under Lin Dong's gaze, Ling Qingzu, who was seated on the green lotus, still seemed fairly calm and the so-called destruction of her body did not occur. This caused Lin Dong to somewhat doubt the authenticity of the words in the coffin. Don't tell me these words are purposely left as a joke. Lin Dong was somewhat disappointed as he mumbled. Bang! However, just as Lin Dong finished mumbling, the sound of an energy shockwave suddenly echoed out in the air. He hurriedly lifted his head to look, only to find that a violent energy shockwave had suddenly appeared from the middle of the green lotus, and the origin of that shockwave was Ling Qingzu's body. As expected. When he saw this sight, Lin Dong's heart jumped. Inside the green lotus, Ling Qingzu's exposed snow-white skin instantly became slightly reddish. Meanwhile, an extremely pure yin energy continuously gushed forth from her body, causing ripples to form on the screen of light from the green lotus. Right now, Ling Qingzu evidently realized that there was something amiss, as a cold look flowed in her eyes. Lifting her thin hands, an extremely strong yuan power exploded forth from her body, as she tried to forcefully suppress the devastating pure yin energy. The green lotus flickered, as waves of violent energy unendingly gushed out from Ling Qingzu's body. One could tell that her body had descended into a fierce internal battle. Below, when Lin Dong saw that this Ling Qingzu actually managed to temporarily suppress the power of even the nirvana heart, he involuntarily licked his lips. This woman's strength was truly terrifying indeed. However, even though they were in a stalemate, it was only temporary. After all, the nirvana heart was the essence of a nirvana stage practitioner. Thus, regardless of how amazing Ling Qingzu was, there was still a wide gap between them. Hence, the battle between these two forces only lasted for several minutes, before the light screen of the green lotus was forcefully broken apart, and Ling Qingzu's body was shrouded by a layer of an extremely pure yin energy. Normally, this would be extremely beneficial to Ling Qingzu. However, if one absorbs too much of this kind of thing, it would become a lethal poison. If one was unable to dispel this pure yin energy and allow it to accumulate too long in one's body, it would transform into pure yin fire and burn one's body from within. Shameless one! Atop the green lotus, Ling Qingzu's body suddenly stood up. Her voice was icy, and she waved her lily-white hand, as an extremely formidable yuan power shot out and turned into a giant palm, which ruthlessly smashed the stone coffin of the nirvana stage practitioner. Boom! A loud sound rang out, as the stone coffin and the skeleton within were directly reduced to dust by Ling Qingzu. When he saw this sight, the corners of Lin Dong's mouth began to twitch. This woman was indeed no virtuous soul. More moments after she had obtained his nirvana heart, she flipped and destroyed his remains. Lin Dong very cautiously backed off. Right now, this woman seemed to have become a little crazy. If he went forward now, he would probably be smashed to death. Right now, both of them did not realize that there was a faintly flickering red light hidden within the debris of the stone coffin. After she levelled the stone coffin with her palm, Ling Qingzu's wondrous figure once again began to shudder. She could feel a ball of fire gradually forming inside her body. This flame was not scorching hot, but instead was filled with an endless icy chilling cold. In response to that flame, the vigorous Yuan power inside her body began to show signs of freezing. Based on her current strength, it was still quite difficult for her to match up to the remnants of a Nirvana stage practitioner. A desperate glint flashed across Ling Qingzu's eyes. Moments later, she gritted her silver-like teeth, as she turned towards the only other person around. When he saw Ling Qingzu's gaze, Lin Dong's face slightly trembled. As he slowly stepped back, he forced a smile and said, "Miss Qingzu, I believe that I should not linger here any longer. Let me make a move first. Goodbye." After he spoke, he directly escaped towards the huge bronze door. When she saw Lin Dong so swiftly running away, Ling Qingzu was so enraged that she let out a laugh. "Why didn't you be more tactful and leave previously?" Unfortunately, Lin Dong's wish to escape was not granted. Before he could leap out through that huge bronze door, an extremely powerful force gushed forth from behind him and heavily slammed against that huge bronze door, causing it to shut tightly. When he saw the tightly shut bronze door, Lin Dong could only turn around. He stared at Ling Qingzu, who was floating nearby on her green lotus, as his eyebrows furrowed. "What do you want? It's not my fault you got duped. Do you know what's wrong with the Nirvana heart?" Upon hearing these words, a cold glint flashed across Ling Qingzu's eyes, as her beautiful voice suddenly turned ice cold. "It was written in the coffin. However, I only discovered it after you ate the Nirvana heart. Did you not notice it?" Lin Dong hurriedly clarified. Right now, this woman was not as friendly as before. If he said the wrong thing, perhaps she might directly launch a palm attack at him. Ling Qingzu's face was in flux, evidently extremely enraged. She naturally did not bother to check for any messages on the coffin. If she had bothered to do so, she would not be in such a sorry state. "Young Master Lin Dong." As Ling Qingzu's facial expression was in flux, the pure yin energy surrounding her intensified. Staring at Lin Dong, her originally cold voice suddenly turned much gentler. "What is it? If anyone received such luxurious treatment from this fairy-like beauty, their bones would probably turn to jelly." However, Lin Dong felt something was amiss, as he cautiously replied. "Ling Qingzu wishes to borrow the yang energy inside your body. After this issue is resolved, I shall give you a fair compensation." Ling Qingzu softly said. "That's no good. My master told me that before I reached the Nirvana stage, I must remain a virgin." Lin Dong released a hollow laugh as he said. Lin Dong was obviously bullshitting. He did not have any mentors, nor was he instructed to remain a virgin before he reached the Nirvana stage. Therefore, his actual intention was to reject her. "Young master does not need to worry. We do not require intercourse to obtain yang energy. Qingzu has other means." When she heard Lin Dong's words, Ling Qingzu's lily-white hands slightly clenched. Soon after, she chuckled in an indifferent manner as she said. "Lin Dong, be careful. This woman plans to forcefully seize the yang energy from your body. If she is successful, this will hurt your body's foundations and leave severe repercussions." The small Martin's solemn voice suddenly rang out inside Lin Dong's mind. "Heh, if this was done through the usual means, both parties will benefit. However, this lady is obviously too virtuous, as even young geniuses like Lin Langqian would find it difficult to enter her eyes. Therefore, she would naturally not utilize such means with you. Don't dream that she would give you her pure body. Damn it, this woman is truly vicious." When he heard the small Martin's words, Lin Dong's scalp turned numb as he replied without the slightest bit of hesitation, "Miss Ling Qingzu, please look for someone else. I believe that I am unsuitable. After all, there is still Lin Langqian and the rest outside." "You." When she heard these words, Ling Qingzu's expression turned furious. Lin Dong's words were too much. Young Master Lin Dong, King Zhu has promised. Regardless of how great your loss, I will compensate you several-fold. Even though she was angry, Ling Qingzu was obviously cultured. Even at this juncture, she still gently inhaled as she tried her best to soften her tone. Not interested, goodbye. Lin Dong ignored her words. He cupped his fist before immediately dashing backwards. At the same time, a mysterious ice sword appeared below his feet, while the ancient heavenly scales halberd appeared in his hand. Bang! While Lin Dong retreated, little flame dashed forth and heavily slammed against that large bronze door. Its powerful force directly and slowly pushed open the tightly shut bronze door. When she saw this sight, Ling Qingzu's eyes turned ice cold. Based on her current condition, she could not afford to wait any longer. Immediately, she waved her lily-white hand, as several green lights of rope were fired from the green lotus below her feet. Just like a heavenly net, they flew towards Lin Dong. Since young Master Lin Dong does not wish to cooperate, please excuse King Zhu. When he saw Ling Qingzu finally make her move, Lin Dong's facial expression slightly sunk. The Yuan power inside his body gushed forth, as a dark red glow erupted from the ancient heavenly scales halberd. The halberd flashed, and heavily thrust at the incoming green ropes. Ding ding! Sparks erupted in midair each time he collided against the green ropes, while Lin Dong could feel an extremely powerful resulting force violently gushing forth. Even though it was mostly absorbed by the ancient heavenly scales halberd, the remaining impact still jolted Lin Dong backwards, causing a sweet sensation to gush up in his throat. It seemed like the gap between him and Ling Qingzu was too large after all. Swoosh swoosh! In midair, the green shadow danced across the sky. Unknowingly, it had turned into green flashes and completely surrounded Lin Dong, restricting his range of movements. As his movements were restricted, Lin Dong was unable to completely utilize his ancient heavenly scales halberd. Due to a slip in his concentration, these green ropes dashed forward and directly tied Lin Dong up. After she subdued Lin Dong, Ling Qingzu slowly approached him atop her green lotus. As she stared at Lin Dong's enraged expression, she did not speak. Extending her jade-like finger, she gently tapped on the latter's forehead. Then, Lin Dong immediately felt that something important within his body was about to be forcefully taken away. Small Martin, let's join hands against her. With a maniacal glint in his eyes, Lin Dong roared in his mind. At the same time, he was prepared to use the mid-tier symbol puppet that he had obtained earlier. Even if he had to use a huge chunk of his pure Yuan pills, he could not let this woman steal his yang energy. Wait! With regards to Lin Dong's roar, the small Martin suddenly replied. How can I wait? If I wait any longer, I will be sucked dry. When he heard this reply, Lin Dong was so angry that he nearly vomited blood. Oh, I did not want to witness such a scene. Just as the small Martin's words fell, a slightly playful voice suddenly echoed out in the empty stone hall, causing Lin Dong and Ling Qingzu to both be taken aback. As they hurriedly turned to look, they saw that above that stone coffin debris, a small red dot was hovering in midair, before it finally transformed into an illusory figure and smiled at the two of them. Chapter 179, Master of the Tomb. The glowing shadow was in an illusionary state and evidently did not possess substance. It looked to be about 30 years in age, appearing extremely young, with his lustrous face and scholarly look. Who are you? When she saw this person who had suddenly appeared, Ling Qingzu's long and shapely eyebrows slightly knitted together as she said in a low voice. He, such a violent woman, smashing my bones and stone coffin to bits and still asking who I am. Upon hearing these words, the scholarly man could not help but slightly smirk as he said. After hearing this, Lin Dong's and Ling Qingzu's expressions abruptly changed. You are the master of the tomb. No need to be nervous, I have indeed truly died. This is only remnant Yuan spirit, plus, I was sealed within the stone coffin. If you did not destroy the stone coffin, I would never have appeared. The scholarly man chuckled as he replied. Shameless one, to think that an elder would actually use such despicable means. Ling Qingzu bit her teeth, as the rage within her clear eyes gushed forth. Matters between man and woman are originally in accordance to the yin and yang of heaven and earth, how can you call it shameless? As long as a couple are harmonious and complement each other, would that not be better? The scholarly man said. Nonsense, I will settle this problem myself. Ling Qingzu replied. Your method is not a good thing to this youngster. The scholarly man replied in an indifferent tone. I will definitely repay him, no need for you to meddle. I cannot do that, I've set up this hurdle not to cause harm to others, but for the beauty of becoming an adult. A strange smile surfaced on the scholarly man's face. His gaze swept over Lin Dong's and Ling Qingzu's bodies, as he slightly smiled and said, Young chap, you are truly fortunate, even I have never seen such an absolute beauty before, you must treat her well in future. An odd look filled Lin Dong's face, this guy, did he have a problem with his head? What do you plan on doing? Upon hearing his words, Lin Qingzu's expression turned frosty, and her voice also became even more icy. The beauty of becoming an adult. The scholarly man slightly chuckled, soon after, his hand pointed in the air, as the nirvana heart that was absorbed into Ling Qingzu's body thoroughly exploded. An extremely pure yin energy was like a tide as it gushed forth. In a flash, it completely froze the yuan power in Ling Qingzu's body. As the yuan power in Ling Qingzu's body was frozen, a feeling of weakness immediately appeared. Meanwhile, a bright light also erupted from the green lotus below her feet, desperately trying to dispel the pure yin energy in Ling Qingzu's body. Sensing the changes in her body, an alarmed look finally surfaced in Ling Qingzu's limpid eyes. Oh! Possessing such a treasure, looks like your background is not weak. However, to a dead man like me, it means nothing. Upon seeing that the green lotus had actually resisted the spread of the pure yin energy, the scholarly man was also a little astonished. Soon after, he laughed as his finger once again pointed out in the air. A ray of light shot out and straightaway wrapped around the green lotus, completely separating it from Ling Qingzu. Buzz buzz. The green lotus frantically struggled as it shot out rays of light. However, it was still unable to escape the scholarly man's seal. As the green lotus was sealed, the green ropes of light that tied up Lin Dong also completely dissipated. Once he had escaped from his bindings, he rapidly retreated without hesitation. He did not expect that, in the end, even an already dead nirvana practitioner would show himself. It was best not to linger too long in such a scary place. Hee, little one, I'm giving you something good, why are you running? Upon seeing Lin Dong back away, the scholarly man merely let out a laugh in response. Heh, this young one understands the elder's good intentions, however, I truly do not want this thing. Lin Dong let out a hollow laugh. After taking a look at Ling Qingzu, who had been suppressed such that she could not even lift a finger, he was able to guess what this scholarly man was up to. Perhaps, doing it with such a beauty was every man's dream, but, after that, the troubles that followed would not be small. No one can reject the things I want to give. The scholarly man smiled as he shook his head. His finger pointed out as Lin Dong's body froze, before once again floating towards the struggling Ling Qingzu against his control. Oh, I'm still missing something to start this. As he gazed at Ling Qingzu, who was glaring at Lin Dong as they faced each other, the scholarly man rubbed his chin. With a flick of his finger, two pink lights swept forth, before finally tunneling into Lin Dong's and Ling Qingzu's bodies. Once the pink light entered his body, Lin Dong felt his body instantly start to heat up. A nefarious fire appeared in his lower abdomen and quickly spread across his entire body. While Lin Dong's body was burning, Ling Qingzu's exposed snow-white skin also started to turn especially red. Her originally limpid eyes were also struggling as they were gradually filled with an erotic mist. Her body was practically filled with the pure yin energy, and in front of her, Lin Dong's body emitted pure yang energy. This kind of feeling was as if an extremely cold person saw a warm stove, and could not help but leap towards it. Shameless one! As her rationality gradually faded, Ling Qingzu's marvelous figure continued to tremble, but she still gritted her teeth as her voice softly sounded out. Everything happens for a reason. If you did not destroy the stone coffin, I would not appear. However, since I have already appeared, you will naturally have to follow my rules. The scholarly man had a smile on his face as he spoke. Elder, this is no fun, I think it's better to let me go. Lin Dong persistently endured. The scholarly man had his hands behind his back and a small smile on his face, but he did not say anything in response. God damn it, this is too much. Small Martin! Small Martin! Upon seeing this, Lin Dong could do nothing but cry out in his mind. However, the small Martin which usually appeared had completely disappeared at this time. No matter how Lin Dong cried, it did not say even half a word in response. This angered Lin Dong so much that he almost saw stars. This guy was too unreliable, such a letdown at this critical moment. However, while Lin Dong was doing his best to resist the burning nefarious flame in his body, a slim lotus root-like arm suddenly touched his neck. A soft and tender body that did not seem to have any bones was like a water snake as it stuck itself into Lin Dong's embrace, while a fragrance gushed into up his nostrils. Boom! The fragrance and the softness in his arms was like a fuse that had been ignited, causing Lin Dong's eyes to momentarily turn red. He bitterly endured as his mind grew increasingly weak. Lin Dong, if you dare to touch me, when I regain my senses, I will definitely take your life. The beauty lay powerless in Lin Dong's embrace. The eyes of the originally unattainable goddess was now like silk, as she transformed into an enchanting demoness who could steal one's soul. She faintly panted as she leaned against Lin Dong, but a soft voice still sounded out from under her veil. Upon seeing that this woman still dared to utter such fierce words even at this moment, Lin Dong was first taken aback, but soon after, he became furious. Once he recalled that woman had previously ignored whether he lived and died in order to forcefully seize his yang energy, he became so angry that he could not forgive her. I will make sure you see how I touch you today. His rage burned, as his eyes turned scarlet red. His rationality had been directly destroyed by Ling Qingzu's words. With a roar, he tossed aside the fear in his heart and reached out his hand, tearing away the veil on Ling Qingzu's face with a single swipe. The veil slowly fell, and the shockingly gorgeous face below was finally revealed. Even though he already knew that she would be extremely beautiful under the veil, in that moment, Lin Dong still lost his breath, so much so that even his already faded rationality, once again temporarily surfaced because of this incomparably alarming beauty. A glance can cause a city to be ruined, and a second glance the entire kingdom. Such an exceptional beauty. Even the scholarly man softly praised out in this moment. Soon after, he slightly smiled as his hand gently raised. Rays of light swept forth, before transforming into a thick ball of light, which directly wrapped around Lin Dong and Ling Qingzu. Little one, the fact that you've obtained the ancient heavenly scales halberd, makes me feel that our meeting was fated. Since you've paid your respects to me, let me send you another gift. The ball of light condensed, and the scholarly man once again chuckled. A beam of light shot out from the tip of his finger before entering the ball of light and into Lin Dong's mind. Hehe, I can still enjoy the beauty of becoming an adult even after death, truly marvelous indeed. After finishing his words, the scholarly man finally nodded his head in satisfaction. Letting out a hearty laughter to the skies, his body slowly burst open and transformed into numerous specks of light which scattered away. As the scholarly man disappeared, the stone hall became completely quiet. Only the massive ball of light was left as it floated in mid-air. Faintly, palpitating thoughts of love quietly emitted from within. The two fuzzy figures tightly joined together in the ball of light, like yin and yang, and the mixture of water and milk. The silence in the stone hall lasted for quite some time, before finally being broken by a soft ka-cha sound. On the ball of light, lines of cracks swiftly formed. Bang! The cracks quickly spread, and in a few short moments, it exploded with a loud bang. As the ball of light transformed into specks of light which filled the sky, two figures also quickly swept out from within. The young man's strong and healthy figure landed on the ground, completely dressing himself while still in mid-air. Once he landed, he did not hesitate in the slightest as the tip of his foot pushed off the ground and directly transformed into a blurred figure, which rushed towards the huge copper door. "Little Flame, quickly leave." Lin Dong was evidently extremely loyal. At this time, he did not forget to warn Little Flame, which was lying on the ground while waiting for him. After hearing his voice, Little Flame also swiftly leaped forward, before quickly fleeing. Dozens of meters were crossed in the blank of an eye. However, just as Lin Dong was about to escape through the huge copper door, an ice-cold aura of death was like a demoness, as it appeared before him. Swish! The beautiful figure appeared and likewise did not say anything, as her lily-white hand raised. A green light filled with a formidable and cold murderous aura swiftly shot out. Chapter 180, Trouble. A green light containing killing intent violently shot towards Lin Dong. Slightly astonished, the tip of his foot pushed off the ground, as his figure once again rapidly retreated. Meanwhile, with a flick of his mind, mental energy gathered before him to form a defensive layer. TCH. The mental energy defense did not achieve any significant effect, as the green light practically tore it apart in an instant, before charging at Lin Dong's throat without losing any speed. However, though it did not achieve much, in that short period, the ancient heavenly scales halberd was once again summoned in Lin Dong's hand. Yuan power gushed forth, and the halberd viciously whizzed through the air to heavily clash against the green light. Bang! An energy shockwave erupted from the collision, as a strong gale swept outwards. Lin Dong's body was also jolted back dozens of steps, as he jabbed his ancient halberd onto the ground, before slowly stabilizing his body. Perfect Yuan Dan stage. Having stabilized himself, amazement suddenly flashed across Lin Dong's eyes. This was because he had discovered that his current strength had unknowingly rose dramatically. Based on his guess, the current him had mysteriously made a breakthrough to the perfect Yuan Dan level. Furthermore, he was faintly able to sense that his body had also grown much stronger. Or else, given his previous level of strength, he would have at least spat out a mouthful of blood on the spot after receiving Ling Qingzu's attack. Of course, Lin Dong also understood that this did not mean he possessed the power to face off against Ling Qingzu. The latter's strength was still too frightening. If he faced her head-on, he would definitely not be her match. After all, the gap between the Yuan Dan stage and the creation stage was not so easily overcome. With his body stabilized, Lin Dong's eyes looked towards the huge bronze door. There, a green lotus hovered, and atop the green lotus, Ling Qingzu's entire being was emitting a cold murderous aura, while extreme rage and coldness gushed out from her clear eyes. "Lechaer, I will definitely take your life today." Ling Qingzu stared at Lin Dong, her melodious voice was so cold that it cut into the bone. "It's not my fault, everything was done by that guy." As he gazed at Ling Qingzu, who was like a piece of black ice, Lin Dong's scalp began to turn a little numb. His gaze swept across the stone hall, but did not find even the slightest trace of that scholarly man. Immediately, he could not help but curse out in his heart. "You have to pay the price for disgracing my purity." Ling Qingzu's eyes were ice-cold. She admittedly knew who the ringleader of this affair was, but this was no reason for her to so easily let Lin Dong go. She was just and proud by nature. Over the years, she had seen countless young and outstanding talents, and there were no geniuses or monsters she had not seen before. Yet, even these people were unable to draw even the slightest bit of her attention. However, she had actually lost her purity in such a run-down place today. Moreover, her partner was an ordinary and unremarkable guy. In the past, this kind of person would perhaps be unable to draw even a glance from her. Yet, such a person had now directly taken away her purity. At this thought, even with Ling Qingzu's temperament, an uncontainable humiliation and murderous intent rose up in her heart. "I will erect a grave for you after I killed you." Green lights slowly blossomed from the green lotus below Ling Qingzu's feet. Soon after, the lights flashed, and her body strangely disappeared. Tch. Upon seeing that Ling Qingzu had strangely disappeared, Lin Dong's pupils suddenly shrunk. Powerful mental energy immediately swept forth, and in the next moment, the ancient heavenly scales halberd in his hand seemed to bring a scarlet wind with it, tearing apart the air, as it fiercely flicked upwards. The ancient halberd struck, but only managed to pierce an after image. After seeing that Ling Qingzu's strength was actually so frightening, Lin Dong's expression drastically changed. He grasped tightly onto the shaft of the halberd with both hands, as his body abruptly started to spin. Like a storm, a formidable gale enshrouded his body. Woo woo! The halberd flashed, as powerful winds left rows of deep gashes on the ground. Ding! Images of halberds danced in the skies. Suddenly, a slender and white jade-like hand directly reached into the storm. The lily-white hand clenched as the halberds which filled the skies instantly dissipated, while the shaft of the ancient heavenly scales halberd was directly grabbed by Ling Qingzu. No matter how much strength Lin Dong exerted, he was unable to budge it at all. With a lily-white hand restraining the ancient heavenly scales halberd, Ling Qingzu's exquisite figure flickered, as her body gracefully approached Lin Dong. Her other hand was as light as a feather as it swept towards Lin Dong's chest, the green light encircling it giving off a deadly killing intent. As he felt the extremely formidable green light on Ling Qingzu's palm, Lin Dong's heart skipped a beat. However, just as he was about to use all his power to fight back, the tightly shut huge bronze door behind them suddenly burst open with a bang, transforming into countless fragments which shot outwards, causing several deep holes in the ground. While the huge bronze door burst apart, a few figures also swept out as quick as lightning. After which, they quickly took in the scene before their eyes. Because Lin Dong's back was facing the huge bronze door, the few people who entered seemed to see Ling Qingzu closely snuggling against Lin Dong. This scene directly caused the three originally extremely calm and collected individuals to be dumbstruck. Ling Qingzu also sensed the huge bronze door being blown apart. Immediately, the terrifying green light on her lily-white hand weakened substantially, before landing on Lin Dong's chest. Bang! A huge force hit his chest, as Lin Dong's body was directly blown backwards. However, due to the huge increase in his strength, his body once flipped in mid-air, before healthily landing on the ground. He swiftly retreated several steps, as he tightly grasped the ancient heavenly scales halberd in his hand, while vigilantly staring at Ling Qingzu. "Miss Qingzu, this is..." Gazing at the scene, the trio who had entered were a little taken aback. Soon after, one of them slightly smiled as he asked. "Nothing much, I was only having a brief exchange with this young master." Currently, the murderous aura and coldness in Ling Qingzu's eyes had practically disappeared in an instant, as she regained the seemingly gentle demeanor from before, while her tone was tinged with a deep feeling of repelling 1,000 miles. The trio which had entered was naturally Ling Langtian, Wang Yan, and Qin Shi, who were all previously stuck within the Great Formation. After they heard Ling Qingzu's words, their gazes turned towards Lin Dong, as their eyebrows slightly furrowed. Naturally, they could tell that Lin Dong was only at the perfect Yuan Dan stage. Compared to Ling Qingzu, the difference between them was huge. Why the need to exchange blows with him? The trio's gazes were tinged with an interrogatory flavor as they looked at Lin Dong, before they withdrew their gazes. The latter's looks and strength were unable to make them feel even the slightest bit threatened. "Miss Qingzu, from the looks of it, I'm afraid the Nirvana heart already has an owner, right?" Ling Langtian took a look at the empty stone hall, as he gently chuckled and said. "The three of you were a step too late." Ling Qingzu winked as she softly replied. "Unfortunate. It's all because of that formation." Upon hearing this, Wang Yan felt helpless. Soon after, he acted magnanimous as he let out a hearty laughter. However, the fact that Miss Qingzu was able to obtain it also means that she is capable. Although this Nirvana heart has a chance to give one the potential to reach the Nirvana stage, the three of us do not mind. Even without it, advancing to the Nirvana stage is merely a matter of time. Then many thanks to young Master Wang Yan. Ling Qingzu softly chuckled. Though the veil covered her face, its beautiful contours were still astonishing, causing the fire in Wang Yan's eyes to burn even brighter. Hi, since the Nirvana heart already has an owner, I will take my leave first. Upon seeing Ling Qingzu and the top members of the Great Yan Empire's younger generation chatting cheerfully together, Lin Dong did not know why, but he felt a little unwell in his heart. Immediately, he spoke out and planned to leave. Lin Langtian, Wang Yan, and Qin Shi did not take much notice of Lin Dong. A mere perfect Yuan Dan stage was not enough to draw their attention. Stop! However, though the trio ignored him, Ling Qingzu bit her teeth as she shouted out. Oh! Upon seeing this normally elegant and calm Ling Qingzu unexpectedly forget herself in this manner, Lin Langtian and the other two were stunned. Soon after, their eyebrows once again furrowed, as their gazes shifted towards Lin Dong. They were not fools. Ling Qingzu's reaction was somewhat different from usual. Miss Qingzu, is there anything else? Upon seeing that this woman still refused to let him go, Lin Dong could only halt in his step as he somewhat helplessly asked. Upon hearing this, Ling Qingzu paused. At this time, she could not possibly speak like before, right? However, this woman was intelligent. She only paused a little before her indifferent voice sounded out, "The young master's martial art is exquisite. Previously, we have yet to decide the victor. Qingzu will follow you out and find a place to continue our duel. How does that sound?" Young Master Ling Langtian, Qingzu will first bid her farewells. If I have time, I will come and visit again. After saying these words, Ling Qingzu bowed towards Ling Langtian and the other two, before she slowly walked towards Lin Dong under the trio's astonished gazes. As they stared at Ling Qingzu's elegant figure, Ling Langtian's and their other two's eyebrows knitted together even more tightly. At this time, even an idiot could tell that something must have happened between Lin Dong and the former. Exquisite martial art, how exquisite could a brat at the Yuan Dan stage be? How could he possibly compare to the three of them, who were the elite among the Great Yan Empire's younger generation? Among the trio, the most prideful Wang Yan's eyes could not help but slightly narrow. He stared at Lin Dong's back, as he adjusted the jade ring on his thumb. I admit defeat. Upon seeing Ling Qingzu gracefully approaching, Lin Dong hastily said. However, Ling Qingzu's eyes were ice cold, ignoring him as she walked to Lin Dong's side and coldly said, "Go." Lin Dong bitterly laughed, his gaze slightly flickered, as thoughts of how to escape swiftly spun in his mind. While Lin Dong's gaze was flickering, another group of figures rushed in from the opened bronze door. At the head of the group was Wang Pan, Lin Ker, and the rest. When Wang Pan and the rest entered, they quickly spotted Lin Dong. A sneer flashed across the former's face as they quickly swarmed towards Wang Yan, before softly speaking into his ear. Upon witnessing this scene, Lin Dong's expression slightly sunk. He knew that these guys were definitely talking about him. Go! While Lin Dong's expression turned gloomy, beside him, Ling Qingzu's indifferent voice once again sounded out. Wait a moment. However, just as Lin Dong planned to leave this place first, a calm voice suddenly rang out behind him as expected. It's here. After hearing this voice, Lin Dong slowly exhaled in his heart. In the end, he was unable to avoid these troubles. Chapter 181, Today's matter will be repaid 100-fold. Wang Yan's voice rang out in the stone hall, as Lin Dong's footsteps came to a stop. He turned around and looked at the former, before casting a glance towards the sneering Wang Pan and the rest behind, furrowing his eyebrows as he said, "Is something the matter? You've snatched my Wang clan's soul treasure, do you really think you can just leave like this?" Wang Yan replied in an indifferent voice. Upon hearing these words, Lin Dong's expression darkened. He could not help but sneer as he said, "Distinguished one, this is really too laughable. Items from the tomb are originally ownerless. Since when did they become your Wang clan's property? If that is so, won't everyone who managed to obtain treasures here have to return them to you?" "Humph, kid, don't think of quibbling. That soul treasure was obtained by me first, but it was snatched away through your sneak attack." Wang Pan coldly snorted as he said. Upon seeing that this person would actually be so shameless, Lin Dong was so angry that he let out a laugh. This guy's ability to turn black to white was truly marvelous. This sudden change also caused the crowd to understand that there are some gaps between what the Wang clan and Lin Dong had said. With regards to what had actually led to this, the crowd really did not care, because everyone knew that the Wang clan was usually arrogant and domineering. Since Lin Dong was alone today, given Wang Pan's and the rest's characters, they would definitely not let this issue rest so easily. Miss Qingzu, this is a grudge between my Wang clan and this person. Wang Yan casually looked towards Lin Dong before declaring this to Ling Qingzu. Though he did not finish his words, Ling Qingzu understood his intention. Without saying anything, she slowly took 2 steps back, indicating that she would not interfere. Lin Dong did not find her actions unexpected. The fact that Ling Qingzu did not stab him at this time was already an extremely excellent thing. Hoping that she would step in to help was practically impossible. Ling Langqian and Qin Shi merely gazed at the scene from a detached point of view. Wang Pan, you are talking rubbish. That soul treasure was originally obtained by Lin Dong. Since when did he mount a sneak attack on you? All of us are able to testify that everything you've said is a lie. While the crowd was waiting to see a good show, a charming voice suddenly rang out. The crowd turned, only to find that it was Lin Ker. Upon seeing Lin Ker open her mouth to speak, Wang Pan's expression slightly changed, while Wang Yan's eyebrows furrowed a little. He did not expect that the Lin clan members would actually step in. Ker, stop talking nonsense, and don't interfere in other families' matters. To one side, Lin Longdians coldly said. His eyebrows had also furrowed when he saw that Lin Ker had actually spoken out. Big brother Lin Langqian, Lin Dong is also considered as a member of my Lin clan, how can you call it other families' matters? Lin Ker hastily said. Wang Yan was usually very bossy. Today, this matter may only be solved if Lin Langqian stepped in. I have never seen such a person in the clan. Which family does he hail from? Lin Langqian was taken aback, his eyebrow knitted together as he looked at Lin Dong. He is from a branch family. Lin Ker bit her teeth and said. She knew that in the eyes of the clan members, the status of the branch families were extremely low, so much so that many would not even acknowledge that the branch family members were part of the Lin clan. Branch family, Lin Langqian took his head, a look of indifference in his eyes. If Lin Dong was truly a member of the clan, he would perhaps reluctantly step in. However, since he was from the low-status branch family, there was no need. It truly was not worthwhile to sour the relationship with the Wang clan for a branch family member. You no longer need to care about this matter. Upon hearing Lin Longdian's indifferent tone, Lin Ker's heart turned cold. Lin Dong stood on the spot, as his fists tightly clenched. He was able to hear the contempt in Lin Longdian's voice. Although their family names were both Lin, it was evident that the latter did not once regard him as someone from the same clan. That indifference and contempt were like knives which cut across Lin Dong's heart, causing his gaze to turn ice cold. I did not expect that this person was actually someone from a branch family of the Lin clan. Since this is so, I should not make things too difficult for him. Brother Lin Langqian, this matter shall be settled by you. Wang Yan chuckled as he said. Upon hearing this, Lin Langqian softly chuckled. His gaze turned towards Lin Dong, considering for a moment before he said, since you have a little relation to my Lin clan, I will be the judge for you this time. How about this, hand over the soul treasure, then apologize to Wang Pan and the rest, and we shall drop this matter. After hearing these words, Lin Ker's pretty face once again changed. Handing over the treasure and apologizing, what kind of judge was this? Crack! Lin Dong's tightly clenched fists emitted a bone-cracking sound. His was expressionless, but the rage in his heart had never before burned so hot. He stared at Lin Longdian's handsome face, letting out a cold laugh as he said, truly such an excellent judge. You dare to not listen to my words. Upon hearing Lin Dong's laughter, Lin Longdian's expression slowly turned icy. His status in the Lin clan was extremely high, among the younger generation, no one dared to refute him. Even some of the older generation were rather courteous towards him, yet today, this low-status member of the branch family dared to question his words? His dignity seemed to provoked at this moment. I am in charge of the Lin family's law enforcement group. Just based on that one sentence of yours, I can arrest you and bring you to the clan's ancestral hall to receive punishment. I'll say it again, will you do as I have said? Lin Longdian's expression was ice-cold. He suddenly took one step forward, as a creation stage practitioner's terrifying aura directly erupted out, before ruthlessly oppressing Lin Dong's body like a mountain. Creak. Under that exceedingly powerful aura, Lin Dong's knees abruptly bent. Soon after, his eyes turned scarlet red as he forcefully resisted the pressure, while the bones in his body continuously emitted creaking sounds, as if they were bearing a heavy weight. Truly a little courageous. Upon seeing that Lin Dong was actually able to resist kneeling under his aura, the coldness in Lin Longdian's eyes turned even chillier, while the pressure of his aura grew increasingly stronger, such that, even the ground where Lin Dong stood was forcefully broken with a bang. The Yuan power in Lin Dong's body frantically circulated, tenaciously resisting the pressure which caused him to be unable to move. Only now did he finally and thoroughly understand how enormous the gap between the Yuan Dan stage and the creation stage was. The pressure around him continuously tried to force Lin Dong down to his knees, while his gaze frantically flickered. He was measuring his strength and his cards. However, when he finished his calculations, his heart sunk a little. The Qi creation stage Lin Zhentian was too powerful. Big brother Lin Langtian. When she saw Lin Dong's scarlet red face, as if the blood was about to drip out from his skin, Lin Ker once again worriedly said. No matter what, Lin Dong had some relations to the Lin clan. It was too humiliating for him to be treated this way in front of so many people. Upon hearing Lin Ker's pleading tone, Lin Longdian's eyebrows lightly furrowed. Soon after, he placed his hands behind his back, as he looked down upon Lin Dong, whose body was pushed down till it became somewhat bent, and said in an indifferent voice, on Lin Ker's account, Lin Dong, if you are able to withstand my aura and walk out of this stone hall, we can forget about this matter. Lin Dong's body violently trembled under that gaze. A rage that had hit the limit caused an urge to thoroughly fight it out with Lin Langtian, although the final outcome would be Lin Dong's death in this place. Lin Dong, you and me, plus that mid-ranked symbol puppet have a 20% chance of heavily injuring or killing him. If you want to do it, I will aid you. While Lin Dong's eyes were red with madness, the small Martin's voice was a little gloomy as it sounded out in his mind. 20%. After hearing this extremely low chance, Lin Dong's rationality, which was about to be covered up with rage, suddenly resurfaced. His blood-red eyes unwaveringly stared at Lin Langtian, who was looking down upon him. Without any further words, he slowly turned around with great difficulty, before moving his heavy as a mountain feet, step by step towards the exit of the stone hall. He knew that he was powerless to change this situation. Even if he managed to kill Lin Langtian in the end by some fluke, so what? Next, he would definitely incur the wrath of the Lin clan. Under their rage, the Lin family would be the first to be mercilessly eradicated, because the current Lin Dong was practically worthless compared to Lin Langtian. The current him did not have the means to protect the Lin family from the wrath of the Lin clan, because he was not strong enough. Lin Dong. After seeing that Lin Dong had chosen rationality in the end instead of impulse, a soft sigh could be heard from the little Martin's voice. It knew how difficult it was for a young man to make such a decision, even if it was the most rational course of action in this situation. Thud. Thud. Heavy footsteps rang out in the stone hall. Under that increasingly powerful pressure, drops of dark red blood oozed out from Lin Dong's pores. Blood flowed down his body, and every step of his left behind a scarlet footprint on the ground, a ghastly sight for the eyes. Gazing at the back of the figure who still took each mountainous step towards the exit of the stone hall while covered in blood, the stone hall suddenly became much quieter. The eyes of those who were originally waiting to see some excitement slowly turned serious. The willpower of this youngster caused them to be somewhat moved. Ling Qingzu was stationed at the front of the stone hall, as she gazed at the youngster, who was walking over while covered from head to toe in blood. Ripples formed on the surface of her clear pupils, she could see the youngster's scarlet eyes and could also see the burning fire which had been buried deep in his eyes, plus a tenacity that caused one's heart to palpitate. Lin Dong reeked of blood as he stepped past Ling Qingzu with great difficulty. The latter's lily-white hands slightly clenched. Perhaps, because of great tenacity in the youth's eyes, or maybe a rarely seen softness in her heart. In the end, she did not say anything. Under the gazes of the crowd in the silent stone hall, Lin Dong footstepped out of the huge bronze door, as the pressure which was heavier than a mountain finally disappeared. Plop! At the disappearance of the pressure, Lin Dong vomited a mouthful of blood. His knees heavily slammed onto the ground, and then were firmly propped up by him. He did not look back, dragging a trail of blood as he slowly moved away. Under the setting sun, the trail of blood seemed particularly eye-piercing. As his figure faded away from sight, a coarse and gloomy howl, like that of an injured wild beast, slowly sounded out and echoed about the stone hall. Lin Langtian, 2 years later at the clan gathering, today's matter will be repaid 100-fold. While gazing at the scarlet footprints, Lin Ker bit her rosy lips. The mountain-like willpower Lin Dong had displayed caused everyone to be moved. Deeply sucking in a breath of air, Lin Ker gazed at Lin Langtian, whose expression remained calm, but, in her heart she knew that this responsible person, who stood at the pinnacle of the Lin clan, had likely, already made himself a terrifying enemy. In the clan gathering 2 years later, she believed that this younger would once again appear. At that time, heaven and earth would be overturned in the Lin clan because of him. As Lin Dong departed, the stone hall remained silent. Everyone was shocked that Lin Dong was actually able to withstand the pressure of a Qi creation stage practitioner. Though the perfect Yuan Dan stage was only 2 stages away from the Qi creation stage, the difference between them was like heaven and earth. A perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioner could perhaps be considered as a top-tier practitioner in Yan City. However, it would not amount to much outside. Only by truly advancing to the creation stage would one become famed in the great Yan Empire. A practitioner that has advanced to the first level of the creation stage, the form creation stage, could easily defeat the combined forces of 10 perfect Yuan Dan practitioners. This was the extent of the difference between them, difficult to make up for even with numbers. When he was at the heavenly Yuan stage, Lin Dong could match up against an advanced Yuan Dan practitioner. However, at the perfect Yuan Dan stage, it was very difficult for him to oppose Lin Langtian, who was at creation stage. Hence, when they saw that he was actually able to withstand Lin Langtian's pressure and walk out of the stone hall, the crowd could not help but feel a trace of astonishment in their hearts. This kind of willpower was very unimaginable on an inexperienced-looking youngster. "He, brother Lin Langtian, it seems like you have a new challenger." As he stared at the bloodied footprints on the ground, Wang Yan's eyes slightly narrowed before he chuckled. After hearing these words, Lin Langtian let out a chuckle as he casually said, "In this great Yan Empire, there are countless people who hope to use me to become famous under the heavens. Having one more means nothing to me. However, most of them are only acting out of a moment of anger. When they calm down, they will realize how ridiculous they are." Wang Yan smiled. However, as his eyes stared at the bloodied footprints, they slightly narrowed. On a secluded mountain peak in the Skyflame mountain range, Lin Dong was seated on a large boulder. The blood on his body had already solidified and fallen off. Even though it seemed like he had been badly injured by that pressure from before, it was not that severe. After all, Lin Langtian only wanted to demonstrate his dominance and force Lin Dong onto his knees. However, he never expected that this was something that Lin Dong would never permit. He would kneel to heavens, he would kneel to the earth, and he would kneel to his parents. However, he would never kneel in front of Lin Langtian. Little Flame lay flat on the ground behind Lin Dong. It knew that Lin Dong was extremely moody now, hence, it did not make any noise as it quietly lay beside him. "Kid, you were impressive." In front of Lin Dong, a glowing shadow materialized, as the small marten appeared. However, it did not mock him as before, but instead raised its claws to him and spoke. After being humiliated in such a way, how can I be called impressive? Lin Dong chuckled somewhat self-deprecatingly. Kid, if you had really disregarded your life and pulled out all the stops against him, you would be considered impressive as well. In fact, the bystanders will probably admire your courage, before they mourn your loss. However, after that, your Lin family will fall into despair. Your parents will be heartbroken and they may even fight to the death against that guy for you. Then, the outcome will still be same and you will have also doomed the entire Lin family. You should also understand why this is so, that is because the current you is not as valuable as that fellow. The small marten smiled as it somewhat sincerely said, sometimes, it's best not to go all out. A truly impressive individual knows when to endure and when to withdraw. Even if others mock him, he will ignore them. That is true courage and charisma, because hope springs eternal as long as one is alive. When you become more powerful than Lin Langqian, even if you kill him, the Lin clan will not dare to take any action against your Lin family. You should understand this principle. It was also why you choose the most humiliating option just now. Heh, your choice has earned a little of my admiration for the first time. Lin Dong deeply exhaled, as he stared up at the blue sky. Suddenly, he asked, if I want to defeat him 2 years later, is it possible? It is doable, but it will be very difficult. The small marten slowly nodded its head and said, that fellow's talent is truly terrifying. Furthermore, he has the support of the Lin clan. Hence, he has access to all the best training resources available. While you are improving yourself, he will likely improve at an even quicker rate. 2 years is truly a short time. An ordinary perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioner will needs perhaps several years or even decades advance to the form creation stage. Furthermore, that fellow is at the chi creation stage. Lin Dong silently nodded his head. He knew how challenging this would be, however. 2 years later, I will defeat him. When it heard the steely conviction in the youngster's voice, the small marten suddenly let out a laugh and said, of course, it does not mean that there is no way to do so. Lin Dong's eyes slightly flickered as he stared at the small marten. Ancestral symbol. The small marten casually replied. Ancestral symbol. Lin Dong was taken aback, as he recalled the mental energy map that he had obtained at the Symbol Master Tower. On the map were the locations of 2 ancestral symbols. You cannot imagine just how powerful an ancestral symbol is. In fact, even in this entire Great Yan Empire, I doubt that anyone can. From the memories that I inherited from my tribe, I know that in this world, there was once a legendary expert who ruled over the world. I cannot fully explain to you just how terrifying that figure was. However, all I can tell you is that for an existence like him, he only needed a flick of his finger to completely obliterate the entire Great Yan Empire. For the first time, an extremely fanatical reverence appeared in the small marten's voice. However, Lin Dong did not feel too overwhelmed. After all, he could not imagine how anyone could wipe out an entire empire with a flick of his finger. That still seemed too distant to him. That legendary dictator was later called the Symbol Ancestor, and he was renowned across the world. Symbol Ancestor? Is he related to the ancestral symbols? Lin Dong was stunned. Soon after, he swiftly inquired. As I have mentioned before, in this world, there are 8 ancestral symbols that were born from the laws of the world. This symbol ancestor was the owner of all the 8 ancestral symbols. After which, these ancestral symbols were scattered across the world and no one has managed to gather them all since then. Nonetheless, if one is able to obtain just one of them, he will become one of the present day's strongest practitioners, and possess the might to flip mountains and boil oceans. Therefore, if you could find an ancestral symbol, I guarantee you that 2 years later, in that so-called clan gathering, you will definitely thrash Lin Langqian like a sandbag. If you fail to do so, go ahead and beat me. When he heard those last few words, the taunt-faced Lin Dong involuntarily let out a chuckle, before he promptly said, since this ancestral symbol is so powerful, it would be quite difficult to find right. Else, that senior from before would not have failed. Of course. If it were so easy to find, how would you still have the opportunity? The small marten rolled its eyes as it continued, if you want to surpass Lin Langqian within 2 years, this is the most dependable method. Lin Dong was silent for a while, as Lin Langqian's indifferent gaze once again flashed across his mind. Suddenly, he tightly gripped his fist, as he slowly nodded his head, very well, let's go look for that ancestral symbol. Heh, kid, this is the drive you need. Once you obtain the ancestral symbol, your future potential will be limitless. At that time, that crappy Lin clan will be begging you to join them. When it saw this, the small marten gleefully replied. Why are you instigating me to look for this ancestral symbol? Lin Dong suddenly turned around as he suspiciously asked. As Lin Dong stared intently at it, the small marten eyes spun before it waved its claws in resignation and said, Kid, this is for your own good. This stone talisman has an extraordinary origin. Since it has now landed in your hands, in the future, there will definitely be big problems that will come your way. If you are not powerful enough, you will end up like me. Of course those that accompanied me will naturally be doomed by my misfortune as well. When he saw the small marten's expression, Lin Dong's facial expression turned slightly serious as he involuntarily traced his fingers against his palm. Where exactly did this mysterious stone talisman come from and what could it do? Why was even this mysterious small marten so fearful? Don't worry. Right now, that item is still sealed. Furthermore, you are still too weak, hence no one will discover it. As if it was afraid that Lin Dong would be flustered, the small marten hastily reassured him. With a pained smile, Lin Dong nodded his head. He had suddenly realized that this damned stone talisman was actually a hidden bomb. When do you plan on leaving to search for the ancestral symbol? The small marten asked. Let's head back to Yan City first. After we have settled all our issues, we shall go. Lin Dong thought for a moment, before he replied. All right, let's go then. The small marten nodded its head, before it turned into a light beam and darted into Lin Dong's palm. Little Flame! Lin Dong called out as he stood up. Little Flame, which was nearby, immediately dashed over, as Lin Dong jumped onto its back. With a wave of his hand, Little Flame released a deep growl, which shook the forests, before it turned into a red flash and charged away from the Skyflame mountain range. At Little Flame's full speed, it took only half a day to cross the entire Skyflame mountain range. It was evidently much faster than before. A blazing shadow swept across the mountains, before it violently stopped, as it charged towards a mountain peak while roaring. Seated on the tiger's back, Lin Dong's eyes slowly turned towards that mountain peak, only to find was a man dressed in golden seated at the top of the mountain. Under the rays of the sun, dazzling lights were reflected off. A golden spear stood in the hands of the man in gold, as an astonishing and arrogant aura shot towards the heavens and surged across the skies. Wang Yan. When he saw the figure seated on the mountaintop, Lin Dong's glaze slowly darkened. Lin Langqian is conceited and refused to take notice of you. However, I do not wish to leave a potential disaster. After today's matter, you already bear a grudge against my Wang clan. Since that is the case, I must take your life today. On mountain top, the man dressed in gold slowly looked down, as he stared at Lin Dong below, his cold voice laced with killing intent.